and he was up front, and they was unlocking the door. He locked it back. They unlocked it again. They told him they was going to come in.
Terrifying. Those moments just seconds before a man and a police officer opened fire at a Nashville apartment complex, all of which led to one man killed and an officer shot. Well, tonight, a woman is detailing the entire 2 hours she spent locked in an apartment building, held at gunpoint. Let's go to News 4's Lindsay Nance. She talked with her today. And Lindsay, things could have easily been a lot worse for this woman.
They could have, Alan, you're right. Crystal Sweat, two of her neighbors, and a 13-year-old girl were trapped inside of this apartment for over 2 hours. Dylan held them at gunpoint and took their phones, but that's only the beginning.
They come running through here. My other neighbors said, get in the house, they finna start shooting again. By the time we turned around to go in the house, he came right here and took us in the house.
Once Crystal was in the apartment, things only got worse.
But we in the back, and then he tried to rape all of us. He tried to rape the child first, but we wasn't gonna let that happen. My one neighbor, he made her undress completely.
Crystal says he didn't harm them, and she could sense his fear.
He was nervous. He was scared because he was whispering in my ear, and he was like, when he was whispering, he was shaking when he was saying it. And I'm like, I can't hear you, baby. Talk. I can't hear you. And he kept on whispering. I'm like, you got to speak up a little bit. And he was trying to tell me what he needed or what he wanted.
She tried everything she could think of so that Dylan would let them go.
I offered him my car just so we can leave. And everybody's like, why would you offer the car? I'm trying to save lives in the house.
Crystal tells me that when he opened the door to go get her car keys, police were waiting outside. That's when Dylan shot Samuel Galuzzi, and other officers returned fire.
I was scared, but the fact was that we had a child in the house, too. So I'm trying to protect everybody in the house.
Crystal tells me that the experience was absolutely terrifying. She's just glad that her family and her neighbors are all okay. Alan?
She was terrified, but she kept her wits about her. That's for sure. Thank you, Lindsay. Well, this is the officer who was hit by gunfire. His name is Samuel Galuzzi. Metro Police tweeted out today that Galuzzi is recovering from his wounds following surgery. He was shot in the leg twice. And this is the man he was chasing at the time, Shershawn Martez Dillon. He tried to escape pursuing officers, running into an apartment with a gun, as you just heard, holding terrified residents at bay. Dillon was hit in that shootout. He died after he was taken to the hospital. Now, we want to warn you, what you are about to see and hear as well may be very disturbing to some of our viewers. It's cell phone video taken during the shootout.
Yeah. Ow.
You can actually hear the gunshots in the distance in the background. People in the apartment complex were terrified as the shootout unfolded right before their eyes. The video ended after police came over to keep the crowds back. Now, the TBI has taken over full control of the investigation. This is really standard procedure in a deadly officer-involved shooting. TBI will gather the facts. At that point, it's out of their hands.
We always like to remind the public that the TBI acts solely as fact finders in these types of instances, so we make no determination as to whether the officer's actions were justified. We simply provide the facts.
Now, the findings are sent to the District Attorney General, who will then decide if any action is necessary. Now, of course, we're working to get more details. The quickest way to stay on top of the story is on the News 4 app.